Thank you so much for clicking play and joining me on this episode of She Got Next. I'm excited to talk to my guest today, not only because I think her name sounds like a superhero's name, Erica Loh Jones, design expert, award-winning product design expert, a DEI champion. That's a big reason why I'm excited, but also because I do feel like it's kind of like a superhero trait to be able to take something from mind or a concept and make it a reality. And I've never talked to someone who works in product in sports. So I'm very excited to talk to you today, Erica. I'll give you a proper introduction. Erica Loh Jones, she's a sports product design leader. Welcome to She Got Next.
Hey, thank you for having me, Olivia. It's so great to be here.
Done a lot of research, read a lot of articles, saw a lot of podcasts, and I'm like, Erica is dope, top to bottom.
Thank you.
So you've spent, what, a decade at Yahoo?
Yeah, I was there for 11 years, 10 on Yahoo Sports and Yahoo Fantasy Sports.
Incredible. And I know that part of one of your titles there was head of product design at Yahoo Sports and Yahoo Fantasy Sports, where you led the launch of multiple award-winning experiences across sports, gaming, and betting. Now, I'm broke, so there's no betting happening here. But betting and sports betting is kind of inescapable these days. I was surprised by some of the data that I read about women participating in betting, and I hate reading from my phone, but I want to get this right.
Sure.
So Morgan Stanley's latest report on sports betting in the US, the share of women who said that they gambled in the past month has risen from 11% in 2022 to 23% in 2024. So that's more than 100% increase. And then according to the Fantasy Sports and Gaming Association's 2023 data, which is a little bit older, women make up 35% of fantasy sports players, up from about 19% in 2019, which means like they're estimating 20 million women now participate in fantasy leagues. And like I said, that data was really surprising to me. What does that sound like to you?
Yeah, that's incredible. Firstly, I think that means that we are building the right products that are inclusive, that feel fun and exciting to our women audience, our women participants, our fans. As we know, sports aren't just for men, right? There's a huge female sports base, and to get them into fantasy, which is like the next level of participation in your fandom, so much fun. And of course, like on the sports betting front too, I think there's so much massive opportunity there. And as you can see, we're already capturing a lot of that market segment.
Yeah, well, I read that you said when you joined the fantasy team at Yahoo, that diversity was there, but you were the only woman that could be joining that team. And here's what I read, the quote that you have. I knew that as a woman, I could think about the fantasy product from an alternate and much needed perspective. Talk to me about what that looked like. Because I creating an app, creating experiences with that female lens, I wonder what that looked like. Like, here's what it was before, and this is how we had to think about it to make sure we could see the kind of numbers that we've just been talking about.
Yeah, I think for that, I just put on my fan hat, right? Thinking about myself as a user. And I think you always start from a place of empathy, especially for myself when I'm walking into male-dominated spaces, which a lot of sports is very male dominated. And then knowing that I'm creating a product that is going to be used and beloved by millions of users, men, women, non-binary folks included, and thinking about it from that lens has been really important. So what that looked like was making sure that the makeup of the team was half men, half women, making sure that I had a lot of diversity when I was hiring, and racial, ethnic, cultural, et cetera, that people were coming in with their perspective, but also, again, that empathy towards the sports fan. And then when you lock in all those pieces in place, you start to build something that feels truly authentic to everybody, that is not feeling hyper masculine. So it from that space and coming from there, that's what that kind of inclusive building starts to look like. And then also a layer on accessibility, right? Accessibility is really important. And again, when you have that user empathy in mind and you have that frame where you're building for everyone, you want the products to be able to use by all users, not just ones that have, the same abilities that you do. So people with physical disabilities as well. So we were really proud of that.
Are there any memories you have in creating products that really kind of change the game, and thinking again about diversifying the user experience, making sure that people feel invited to use the app, to use the platform, to see themselves as part of your potential customer base or user base. Like, we changed this thing, we added this thing, we made sure this happened, and we saw exponential growth or whatever kind of growth there was.
Right. So making things more friendly and easier to play. And so fantasy has been traditionally a game that has a lot of kind of lock and key steps. You really have to know the lingo. You have to understand what to do throughout the week. And the ramp up to start playing fantasy is not easy, because there's kind of that built-in mentality that you have to prove yourself in order to play. And so the way that we looked at that was really building for the new user, the casual user. And so making the game feel easier, getting just in time pieces of information so you know what to do throughout the week. When you're designing user flows and looking at, like, let's say, who to pick up, or doing your player research, or even how to switch players from your active roster onto your bench, just making things very intentional, taking away a lot of kind of that extra clutter and cruft, and really helping the users hone in on what's that action that they need to do. And then with that, I think those are the pieces that are really important in capturing those new user bases, because feels more friendly, it feels lighter, and then you can just really enjoy the game, right? Yeah,
you're eliminating, I should say, barriers to participation. I think a lot of times in sports in general, if you go to a sports bar or you turn on the TV, if you don't know the language, you're hearing people talk about stats of, like, this person was drafted back in 19 whatever, and his dad played here, and you're like, I'm lost. The X's and O's, I'm already on. So wanting to create space and information and time, accessibility for people to be able to feel like they can join in this kind of revolution. I mean, fantasy's been around since the 60s, but it's changed a lot.
Right.
I think women's sports have really learned and been smart about lowering that barrier to entry to expand their fan base. Thinking about whether or not you've identified, if you've noticed any gaps that exist right now in platforms or in products in sports, where you think, I think if they had some diversity around the table, this could be a little bit better. It could be more inclusive. It could help expand their audience or customer base. Are there any things that you see that are existing right now that you, in your experience, are like, I feel like this could do so much more if they did X, Y, Z?
Oh, so much more. I'll talk about first some of the things that I'm seeing within media that we're starting to do right. We're starting to prioritize getting data and data feeds from women's sports teams. So that way, when you open up an app or you're following your favorite teams or players, et cetera, the data exists there, right? So I think let's keep that going. Let's make sure that the sports are accessible to all of our either diehard or casual fans, men, women, non-binary folks alike, everybody, right? It's available for all humans. So I think I'm seeing more of that, and I think that's amazing. What I think that we need to do more of is in a lot of these spaces, have more women at the executive level, at the strategy level, making decisions, and also having people of color up there. And so in ensuring that we have, DEI at the forefront, and when we're thinking about how we're building products, I think that is the place that I am not seeing enough of. I'm not seeing enough women, and I'm definitely not seeing enough women of color making business decisions, making strategy decisions, making design decisions at the top level where it really matters.
A little about your individual sports fandom. I know that you started your career out in graphic design. You worked for Wired Magazine and Hyphen, and then you eventually got into product, and obviously what we just discussed, Yahoo Sports. But I imagine even taking the leap into working in fantasy sports meant that you likely had some kind of sports fandom in your background. Did you grow up playing at all, or a fan of Bay Area teams?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm there, born and bred. I live right now in beautiful Oakland, California, but I grew up on the peninsula and here in Oakland. And so I've always had a deep, strong love and affiliation for our Bay teams. And, you know, I was a ride or die Oakland A's fan until very recently. And so kind of had like a little bit of a vacuum, but having the Oakland roots come in and Oakland Ballers, and now of course like the Valkyries. So having Golden State Valkyries here has been absolutely amazing, and it's just been really, really fun. I'm a huge WNBA fan, and I have been for a long time. So for us, getting an expansion team has been super, super cool. Growing up, I watched a lot of sports on television. I'd never really been the most athletic person, but my fandom runs deep in both kind of like the sports that I really care about and just like loving sports in general. So I think for me, at the heart of it, speaking to why I stay in sports, why I love sports so much, is that human connection that you feel with others, commiserating, celebrating with a larger group of people. There's something so special and so magical.
Oakland is talked about a lot in lots of different ways.
Yep.
And for folks who are there, you know, some of the headlines are accurate. Obviously, some of those things are true. Some of the trends that we're seeing, it's been a challenging community to address all the different income equality and folks moving in and out and investment. But I wonder, since you're there and from the Bay, like how would you describe Oakland for people who are only getting one aspect of the story?
Oh, what a lovely question. Oakland is a beautiful, beautiful, vibrant community. I feel so fortunate to be raising a family here, to be deeply ingrained in community work through Oakland Girls Softball League. You know, it is filled with working families, people who care about one another, people who care about the neighborhoods that they live in. There's a lot of amazing deep roots, especially too in our social justice movements. And so we have the home of the Black Panthers, right? So much wonderful, amazing organizing here that has uplifted communities across the US. So I feel very lucky to be doing work here today. And with the Oakland Girls Softball League, that is an opportunity for us to look at providing youth sports to this glorious community of Oakland for youths ages between 5 and 14, giving them a chance to be leaders on the field, to develop their skills is super, super important.
I appreciate you saying that and understanding, like, really sometimes it's just about creating opportunity for kids to have choices. If their hand-eye coordination is great, they can catch a fly ball, they can hit a good pitch, whatever that is. It's like creating opportunities for them to participate and find community, gain skills. You mentioned that you are a part of the Oakland Softball League. You're more than just a part of it. You're part of the board.
Yes.
Talk to me about what it meant for you to join the board and try to help shape experiences for youth out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, through my executive board work, I'm focusing on community impact and partnerships. Really what I get to do is think about league sustainability and creating a space of belonging for children. And growing the next generation of leaders and giving them the tools and what might that look like. So a lot of those conversations I get to talk to like Positive Coaching Alliance or the Oakland Roots and Soul or the Women's Coaching Alliance to see like, how do we bring more women into the game through coaching? Or what are the things that we could be doing more or better of to provide softball for the youth of Oakland? It's been an amazing opportunity there, and being able to kind of harness my leadership skills in that arena. But bringing that lens to the kids has been really important.
I think what's kind of exciting, especially about softball right now specifically, is the fact that there's now going to be a professional women's softball league.
Yeah.
And that really allows you, I would imagine, and the rest of your board to really help expand the kids' their vision of what's possible beyond playing, youth softball, playing for your high school team, even your collegiate career. Like, you can become a professional softball player. And sometimes that's just like, again, expanding your ideas of what's possible, and then wanting to participate because they know it can go beyond something, and inviting them to participate in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Again, I'm going to keep on saying it, but we see it as a vehicle for leadership and skill building. And so whatever that they are learning on the field, they will take with them throughout life. It's being able to win. It's being able to lose. It's being able to pick yourself up and get to that next step, right? Making goals for yourself and how to be a good teammate. And importantly, how to support others and how to support other girls and women, other non-binary folks that are in your circles, in your group, to let them know that they are not alone. You are all on this journey together. And for me, I think that is one of the most valuable skills that you can take away from this game. Is all of that. It's that resilience. It's that empathy. It's that
collaboration.
It's collaboration.
All that stuff. Teammates and pulling for one another. I love it. And what I love especially about what's happening in the Bay right now, there are so many women's professional teams that are really filling the void of some of the men's leagues that have left. Like you said, the A's have gone, the Raiders have gone.
Yep.
The Valkyries are here. BFC is here.
Yeah.
The Bay Area, I think they're going to be based in San Francisco. They're getting a new women's tackle football team called the Storm. That'll be launching in 2026.
Yeah.
And the baseball team is coming. So it's, and in my mind, it's not just about expanding the vision and dreams of girls and women, but it's really helping to educate men and boys as well about what we're capable of. So it's a dual thing that's happening here, creating that space for them to participate and feel seen. They have the equipment, they understand the rules, they can learn about themselves, their strengths, and how it takes practice to get better. But it's also seeing us as equals who want to win, who have drive and passion. And I think that's the way we kind of can normalize women's sports as opposed to othering it. Like, this is their thing over there, but it's instead expanding fandom and expanding opportunity.
Absolutely. I love all what you said. Yeah.
I like to ask folks the same 4 questions in the last 5 minutes of a conversation. And we kind of dipped into it a bit when I asked you about your sports fandom. The first question I typically ask is, what's your first sports memory? And that, I understand that you weren't super athletic. Maybe you had to try out at some point and learned that you weren't athletic, or maybe it was watching a game, going to a live event. Is there any memory that's kind of popping up in your mind right now?
Oh my goodness. Okay. If you're asking about the very first one, I will say I'll share kind of 2. One, I did play rec softball when I was in elementary school. Nice. And sorry?
I said nice. Good for you.
Nice. Yeah. I played rec softball, and I have to say I really fell in love with the position of catching. I played a little catcher. I caught a little bit. And what I really loved about it was it's such a tactical, strategic position. And you really have to be so aware, paying attention. There's a relationship between you and the pitcher that goes beyond just, your moment on the field, but it's a lifeline to the game. And so I think that's pretty powerful. So I think about that. There was also a championship. It was a playoff A's game, and I can't remember what year, but I used to attend a lot of A's games with my cousins, and we'd have a lot of fun. But it was one of the games where we actually made the playoff through this game, and we just went nuts, and the stadium was phenomenal. And I think for me, I miss the Oakland A's so much. I miss going to the Coliseum, walking through the cage, there's so much in that moment when you're walking with other fans, hundreds of other fans, and just that electricity, that moment is so exciting. So, yeah, shout out to the old Coliseum.
What about a sports movie that you quote or rewatch? Are there any sports movies that you're like, I could say this is my favorite one?
Oh my goodness.
Am I hurting you right now? You're like, gosh, I should have prepared.
Yeah, I should have, that's
I'll
funny.
tell you some favorites. Maybe this will help you.
Okay.
So one that came out recently was She's the Man. Amanda Bynes pretending to be her brother. Then there's Love and Basketball, The Sandlot.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay. You know what? It's going to sound ridiculous, and I haven't rewatched this, but I remember watching Cool Runnings when I was a child.
Yes, that's a good one.
Okay, and the thing that stuck with me was this Jamaican bobsled team, and I never did the research to figure out was this actually based on a true story or not. But what I took away from that, and I still think about today, is that there is this amazing group of people that decided to do bobsledding. They're in a non-snow country, but they made it work. They figured they were so scrappy and so full of heart, and then they made it work. And I think about that sometimes in terms of like, the thing that I'm doing hasn't been done before. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe my scrappiness will pull it through. Maybe the teamwork will pull it through. Maybe bringing people together and showing them this is a dream that we can all accomplish together will pull it through. So it's so funny. Cool Runnings. There you go.
I love it. And that's such a great perspective. Like, it doesn't matter if it's never been achieved. Someone has to be the first at some point. So
yeah, I
do think it was loosely based on reality. I don't remember the exact details. I'm like, this was stretched here, this was stretched there. But the point is, anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Let's go. Exactly.
As I mentioned, you're an award-winning designer, and you've described why it's important for you, or has been important for you throughout your journey, to create spaces for people to be included and to thrive. Yeah. But I wonder if you can think back to someone who's really supported you in your career, that helped you get to where you are, or is helping you get to where you want to be next, that you want to shout out right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? There have been so many people throughout my career. It's never been bootstrapped. Everybody, it is hands-on. And this is what I tell, the designers on my team too. As you are climbing the ladder of success up, you are extending it down and you are bringing people with you. It's always been really important to me to have that frame of mind and just to recognize all the leaders, mentors I've had in my life. If I was just to mention one, I think that would be difficult because I don't want to leave anyone out. But I will say I've had design leaders who have helped me get to where I need to be in my career by either giving me really good feedback about what I am not doing and how I can come up more, right? It's like that perspective when somebody sees you. Feedback is a gift. So that's an amazing thing. I've had engineering leaders that have helped me. I mean, I'm not in the discipline of engineering. That is, that is not the work that I do, but it is adjacent in the work that I do with cross-functional partners as a product leader. And I've had some amazing skip level engineering partners that have helped mentor me and help grow me. So there's been, creative directors over the years that have really helped. I mean, it's an amazing thing when I think about how my career has blossomed due to the fact that people have invested in me throughout the years. So I've been really fortunate. And my goal is to do the same for others. So if you see on my website, folks who are listening in, if you are a designer or you are just a person trying to find your way in life, you can grab time with me. We can sit down face to face, just like you and I are talking right now. And I'm more than happy to share a perspective or help give you a little guidance or just encouragement. I think we all need that.
I appreciate you saying that because it really kind of goes to my next question. Typically, what are you doing to create space for the next generation of women in the industry? And I do think it's like being available and you calling it out, go to my website, let's book some time.
Yeah.
So like the next generation of people don't have to necessarily experience some of the boundaries, the barriers that you experience, but if they do, and those are unavoidable, they can get some detail about how you navigated it. And I think that's huge.
Absolutely. And I am still having one-on-ones with designers that I worked with years ago. You know, a lot of us still have monthly one-on-ones together just to check in so I can help them with the next stages of their careers or share what's going on with me so I can get advice from them. The other thing I do very intentionally is when I walk into spaces where I am some of the, only person that looks like me in the room. And maybe there are a few other women. I want to make sure that my voice is loud and clear and I'm taking up space. And I take up space not for myself or my ego, because I want them to know they should be taking up space. They can take up space. It's a silent permission that I am giving that it's okay to use your voice. It's okay not to always have the answers or the right answers. It's okay to ask questions, and it's okay to be present. And your presence is needed and wanted and felt and deserved.
I think that's great, Erica. Loh Jones, the superhero that we all needed. Just like I said. A lot of the podcasts that you were on, or a number of podcasts that you were on, and the features about your journey, I just am inspired by what you've created and the fact that you are just grounded in this idea of having diverse seats at the table. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the work that you're doing up and down for youth and for young women in this space.
Thank you. Awesome. Great conversation. And I really appreciate you, Olivia. Your podcast, She's Got Next, I think is amplifying so many messages. And that is truly, truly important in this time right now and for future. So thank you.
And for the future. Thank you so much.
Great.
And thank you so much for watching either on YouTube, listening on Spotify, or following along on LinkedIn and Instagram. Please be sure to subscribe and share the show with everybody you've met in your entire life. Until next time.